Bernard Jeffrey McCullough, better known by his stage name Bernie Mac, was an American comedian, screenwriter, producer, and actor. Born and raised on Chicago's South Side, he gained popularity as a stand-up comedian. He joined fellow comedians Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, and D.L. Hughley in the film The Original Kings of Comedy. After briefly hosting the HBO show Midnight Mac, he appeared in several films in smaller roles. His most noted film roles were as Frank Catton in the 2001 remake of Ocean's 11 and as the title character of Mr. 3000. He was the star of his eponymous show, which ran from 2001 through 2006, earning him 2 Emmy Award nominations for Outstanding Leading Actor in a Comedy Series. Bernie Mac had an estimated net worth of $10 million at the time of his death. About Bernie Mac's early life. Bernard Jeffrey McCullough was born on October 5, 1957 in Chicago, Illinois. He was the second child of Mary McCullough and Jeffrey Harrison. He was raised by his single mother and his grandparents on the city's South Side. Bernie Mac began his high school career at Chicago Vocational High School. His mother died in 1973 when he was 16 years old. Shortly afterward, his older brother and his estranged father both died. He later graduated from Chicago Vocational High School in 1975. During his 20s and through his early 30s, Bernie Mac worked in a variety of jobs, including janitor, coach, professional mover, cook, bus driver, Wonder Bread delivery man, furniture mover, and UPS agent, while doing comedy on the weekends at clubs and parties. He was 6 feet, 2 inches tall, or 1.89 meters tall. About Bernie Mac's personal life. On September 17, 1977, Bernie Mac married his high school sweetheart, Rhonda Gore, and together they had a daughter, Janice McCullough, who was born in 1978. Bernie Mac had a history of health problems before he went public with his health struggles. The first occurred in the summer of 2004 when he was filming both Ocean's 12 and Guess Who, while also promoting Mr. 3000. He was set to film the remainder of Season 4 of The Bernie Mac Show in October of that year, but due to contracting pneumonia in both lungs and suffering from exhaustion, Fox halted production for 4 weeks so he could recover. In the final 4 years of his life, Bernie Mac publicly disclosed that he had had sarcoidosis. It's a disease of unknown origin that causes inflammation in tissue. Sarcoidosis frequently attacked his lungs. On July 19, 2008, he was admitted to the Northwestern Memorial Hospital in his hometown of Chicago. After being treated in the ICU for 3 weeks, he went into cardiac arrest and subsequently died during the early morning hours on August 9th at the age of 50. The complications were not attributed to his sarcoidosis, according to his publicist. Bernie Mac's public memorial was held a week after his death at the House of Hope Church with nearly 7,000 people in attendance. Notable mourners at his funeral were Chris Rock, Chicago Mayor Richard M. Daley, Samuel L. Jackson, Ashton Kutcher, Don Cheadle, the cast members from The Bernie Mac Show, and his Kings of Comedy fellows D.L. Hughley, Cedric the Entertainer, and Steve Harvey. About Bernie Mac's professional career. Bernie Mac's influences were from the Three Stooges and listening to stand-up comedians Richard Pryor and Red Fox. He started as a stand-up comedian in Chicago's Cotton Club. After he won the Miller Lite Comedy Search at the age of 32, his popularity as a comedian began to grow. A performance on HBO's Def Comedy Jam thrust him into the spotlight after Martin Lawrence was unable to calm an increasingly hostile crowd. Bernie Mac went on stage and said, "I ain't scared of you," telling the audience he didn't come here for no foolishness. He opened for Dionne Warwick, Red Fox, and Natalie Cole. He played a small role in 1994's House Party 3 as Uncle Vester. He also had a short-lived talk show on HBO titled Midnight Mac. Later, he also acted in minor roles, playing Mr. Johnson, the no-nonsense owner of a grill and diner in the movie BAPS, and Pastor Clever in Ice Cube's 1995 vehicle Friday. Following that role, he was chosen to play the title role in the 1995 Apollo revival of The Wiz. Bernie Mac had his first starring role as Dollar Bill, a silly, slick-talking club owner in 1998's The Players Club. He was able to break from the traditional black comedy genre, having roles in the 2001 remake of Ocean's 11 and becoming the new Bosley for the Charlie's Angels sequel, Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. In 2001, the Fox network gave him his own television sitcom called The Bernie Mac Show, portraying a fictional version of himself. The show was not renewed after the 2005-2006 season. The series finale aired on April 14, 2006. Among other awards, the show won an Emmy for Outstanding Writing the Peabody Award for Excellence in Broadcasting, and the Humanities Prize for television writing that promotes human dignity. His character on The Bernie Mac Show was ranked number 47 in TV Guide's list of the 50 greatest TV dads of all time. During his run on the show, Bernie Mac had co-starring roles in Bad Santa, Pride, and Head of State, as well as starring roles in the baseball-themed film Mr. 3000 and Guess Who, a remake of the film Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. On March 19, 2007, he told David Letterman on the CBS Late Show that he would retire from his 30-year career after he finished shooting the comedy film The Whole Truth, Nothing But the Truth, So Help Me Mac. I'm still going to do my producing, my films, but I want to enjoy my life a little bit. Bernie told Letterman, I missed a lot of things, you know. I was a street performer for 2 years. I went into clubs in 1977 and was on the road 47 weeks out of the year. During this time, Bernie Mac was having success as a popular film actor, starting with an appearance in the 2007 film Transformers as the car salesman Bobby Bolivia, and serving as the voice of Zuba, Alex the Lion's long-lost father in Madagascar, Escape to Africa. He co-starred with Samuel L. Jackson in the 2008 musical comedy Soul Men. These last two movies were released months after his death. His final film role was as Jimmy Lunchbox in the 2009 film Old Dogs, which was released a year after his death. About Bernie Mac's legacy and tributes. The first two of Bernie Mac's posthumous films, Soul Men and Madagascar Escape to Africa, were released 3 months after his death and were dedicated to him. His third posthumously released and final film, Old Dogs, was released a year after his death. On the day of Bernie Mac's funeral, his hometown's local television station, WCIU-TV, aired an exclusive television special, a tribute to Bernie Mac, and had interviews with his former colleagues, including Camille Winbush, Chris Rock, Joe Torre, Cameron Diaz, Don Cheadle, and some of his family members and close friends. During Steve Harvey's television show, which aired on November 14, 2016, Harvey read a proclamation from Chicago's Mayor Rahm Emanuel proclaiming November 14th as Bernie Mac Day. Steve Harvey's guests included Bernie Mac's wife, Rhonda, their daughter, Janice, granddaughter, Jasmine, and Bernie's the original Kings of Comedy co-stars, D.L. Hughley, Cedric the Entertainer, and Guy Torre, who was the original host at the beginning of the tour. Mike Epps, appearing via satellite, along with the principal of Bernie and Rhonda's alma mater, Chicago Vocational High School, or CVS, revealed and unveiled the renaming of CVS Auditorium to the Bernie Mac Auditorium. On February 14th, 2017, Rolling Stone named Bernie Mac number 41 of the 50 best stand-up comics of all time. May you continue to rest in peace, Bernie Mac. You may have gone, but you will never, never be forgotten.